fine. Frequency polygon, you've got to remember midpoints. A few people end up forgetting how to actually plot a frequency polygon, so I'll give you a reminder. Remember midpoints. Add first and second number, divide by 2, and you'll get your midpoint. So we know it's 55, 65, 75, 85, 95. Don't forget this method. Add left and right number, press equals, divide by 2, you'll get the midpoint. So here we go. It's midpoint and then the frequency. 55 and 14, 65 and 22, 75 and 50, 85 and 64, 95 and 20. Plot all the points up. You got your frequency polygon. Now let's ask a few more questions. The modal group, if you look at the top, it's the number that came the most. So the modal group would be that right there, because 64 is the biggest number out of the lot. Has it asked us something else? Yes, it has. Player is more than 90 kilograms. So let's go back down. More than 90. We look at the values of more than 90. More than 90, there's 20 values at the total amount we've got there. If we went back down, we'll see it's going to be 20 out of the total of the frequency, which is 170. You can simplify to 2 over 17. Stem leaf, do a rough one. An ordered stem leaf, numbers have to be in order of size. Your key, always take the first number if you can. So it's 23. That means 23. It's just talking about scores. The mode of these, the 5 comes the most times, but the answer is 35 for the mode. So it asked us anything else. And the range. Biggest number, which is 55. Take away the smallest number, 23. The mode would be 30. The range would be 32. The difference between the biggest number and the smallest. What we got here, estimate for the mean, it's got to come up as well. Estimate for the mean, you need midpoints again. Add first and second number, so 0 add 10 is 10, divide by 2, you get your midpoints, they're all labelled up here. You times the midpoint and the frequency for the end column. You total up the end column, 720, you divide it by the total of the frequency, and you get your answer of 24. Down here, trigonometry, just remember this, as soon as you see a trig question, SOHCAHTOA, SOHCAHTOA. Now remember this, I know it's going to be trig because it says calculate an angle, and it's a right angle triangle. I label up what I've got the hypotenuse, I've got the opposite, so I know it's going to be, the only rule with O and H in it is a sine rule, so sine angle equals the opposite divided by the hypotenuse. Let's substitute what we got. We got sine angle equals the opposite 12 divided by the hypotenuse 13. Now we're looking for an angle, so remember shift and the rule, so it's shift sin, which gives us sin to the minus 1. 12 divided by 13 gives us an answer 67.38. This is another great question. Shown below are two mathematically similar cuboids. I'm half asleep. So length to length, let's work out the scale factor. So 24, the longer length divided by the shorter one, gives us the scale factor. So the length scale factor is 6, the area would be 6 squared, and the volume would be 6 cubed. So what they asked us to do with the volume of cuboid B, so we've got the bigger volume, is 1728. Find the volume of cuboid A. So we're going from big to small, so we're going to divide. We're going to take that value, 1728. We're going to divide by the scale factor of volume, which is 6 cubed. If you cube 6 on your calculator, you get 216. Do 1728 divided by 216. You get an answer of 8. Compound interest should be alright with this. So £1,600 in a bank for 4 years. Compound interest 4%. Always do 100. Add the percentage interest, you get 104. Divide 104 by 100. You get your multiplier. It's 4 years, so you just do 1,600 times 1.04 to the power 4, and you'll get that answer. Remember, 2 decimal places money. 1,871.7. Another good question, so here we go. It says here, Lauren is given 12% pay rise. Her new salary, so let's have a look at the old one. 100% is the original, so that's a normal salary. Pay rise means it's gone up by 12%. And the new salary is £24,080. So let's analyse this. So 100 add 12% is 112%. So that salary is actually 112% of the original. So we divide 24,080 by 112, and we get what 1% is, which is 215. If you times 215 by 100, it takes you back to the original, 21,500. You've got to be fine with these. You've got to be fine with these. So here we go. Simultaneous equation. It's entirely up to you what you're going to balance. Here, they've chosen to balance the y's. It's probably the safer bet because you can see what the rules are. Remember, simultaneous equations. When you balance the coefficients, the sign of the coefficients, if they're the same, you subtract. If they're different, you add. So here we've got 3x plus 5y equals 1, 2x minus 3y equals 7. We're going to balance the y's here. So if you times the top by 3, you times all the top out by 3, you get those answers. You times the bottom row out by 5, you get those answers. The rule, if you look, the signs are different, so we're going to add. That cancels that out. 9x add 10x is 19x. 3 add 35 is 38. 19x equals 38. The inverse of times by 19 is dividing. 38 divided by 19. X is 2. Now you substitute. X is 2. They've chosen to put x is 2 into the first one, which is fine. 3 times 2 is 6. Add 5y equals 1. Inverse of adding 6 is taking it away. So we know that 5y equals 1 minus 6, which gives us minus 5. Y equals minus 5 divided by 5. A negative divided by a positive is a negative answer. So there we go.